Welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday on my business adventures and how can I help you go faster in yours. Today's topic are my next steps in business, what I'm planning on doing, and most importantly, the lesson that I got through this adventure. Right now, I'm working on shifting from Class C into Class B and Class A newer apartments, specifically multi-unit townhomes. And in doing that, it's actually going to take a lot of money. Now, for those who have followed the channel for a while, you know I bought a lot of real estate, hundreds of rentals, bought motels, hotel, apartments, RV park, I bought houses, I've done flips, doing some development. I haven't done all that. I've learned what to do and a lot of what not to do, and I'm still learning all the time. But I did all that with no money out of pocket. Shifting into the new stuff, it's going to take a bunch of capital. It's capital intensive on the front end and very rewarding on the back end. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually shifting out of the old stuff and taking that money, going to do a 1031, buying newer properties. The lesson I've learned, though, that I'd like to get across in this video, which is it's painful to the ego, which probably means I'm doing something right. But I am actually looking at selling a lot of my older apartments at 10, 15% discounts below recent appraisals, getting them sold. I'm not just trying to walk away from money. I'm not going to sell it for less than I can get, but I am hopeful and looking for the right buyer who wants to walk into a little bit of day one equity and getting their cash flow a little bit above market average, especially now that rates are coming down a little bit. They're getting a point below where I was at. But I'm selling at discounts, walking away from some of my balance sheet just to transfer the wealth, which isn't all that much, but moving some of that money into newer stuff. And I'm taking the returns maybe from 6, 7, 8% return on equity. I know there's going to be a comment. I just realized what I did. Getting those higher returns on equity down to probably a 4%. So my net cash flow might actually go down a little bit relative to the equity, and I'm walking away from some equity. However, long-term benefit, being willing to walk away from some of what you have in order to get what you truly want is well worth it. If you don't have what you truly want right now, being unwilling to walk away from that is a foolish mistake. I like having the balance sheet look the way it does. I like the equity figure. I, of course, would want to improve the cash flow figure. But walking away from some of the equity and a little bit of the cash flow to get what I truly want, which is freedom of time, the ability to not think about the portfolio as much, to live where I want to live. Right now, I live in Moses Lake out of necessity with the pieces that I have. It's much easier to manage the portfolio that I've built. If I can shift this and walk away from some equity, I can go back to the west side where my family is. It's not all about the money piece. You got to look at your pieces and say, if I do X, Y, and or Z, am I going to get closer or further away from my goals? And there's a point in your journey where I'm experiencing right now in real time where more equity may not mean anything to you. And you just want to live the life you want to live. You don't want to have this big convoluted crazy business that you got to grind out forever. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on shifting the equities from the old stuff to the new stuff. I'm walking away from some of the value that I know I have in this portfolio to make a simpler existence. What's likely going to come out of that are clearer decisions. It's going to be out of just interest. I'm doing it because I'm interested in doing it, not because I have to do it. That's never been a position I've been in. And in order to get there, I have to be willing to leave some money on the table for the next person. Tough lesson, but if you incorporate it at the right time in your business, you're going to have to feel out what the right time is. It can move you forward, even though you're taking a step backwards. The idea, take a step back, then you can take 2 steps forward. That's what I'm working on now. We're going to see how it plays out because I post twice a week, every single week, Tuesday and Thursday on what's going on, good, bad, and the ugly. And we know there's a lot of bad and ugly in this business. So I'll keep posting. If you have any questions, anything you want to see on this channel, put it in the comment section below. But again, the lesson is being willing to walk away from some of your gains, not taking a loss, but walking away from some of the gains, giving that to someone else. In exchange, you get to reallocate your pieces to places that are going to better suit your long-term and short-term goals. That's what I'm doing now, and it'll be interesting to see where this all settles out in a year or so. So I appreciate the support. Hit subscribe, and I'll see everybody on the next video.